Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Craft Your Life podcast. I am so excited and a little fangirling this month because we have the amazing Vicki Papaioannou. I'm so excited to have her here and to hear all about her and learn everything there is to learn. So welcome, Vicki. Thank you so much for making time for us today.
Thank you very much, Bridget, and thank you, Alten, for the opportunity. It is really exciting for me to talk about my journey and let you into my world a little bit, because usually people see only my heart and my projects. So I get so many questions sometimes in the comments, and it's fun to, be open sometimes, although I am an introvert, I have to say.
But it's nice to put your beautiful face to the hands and voice.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself. Where do you live? Do you have a family?
Yeah, so I live in Greece, and I have been living here my whole life. I wasn't born here. I was born in Cameroon, in Africa, but from Greek parents, and we moved here when I was a little baby. So I grew up in Greece, and I lived for 3 years in the UK, where I did my master's degree, and then I came back. So I'm now I have a family with my husband. I have 2 kids. One of them is studying in the university in the Netherlands. The other one is a teenager. And of course, we have a cat, our Ginger, which sometimes is the mascot in my videos. He makes the mess all around.
They do love to help. They are so willing to help. Sort of.
Always sleeping just next with a lot of hair all over.
Now, what's your master's degree in?
Computer science. My main degree was into computer science, and we are going to talk a little bit of how computer science and crafty came together.
Yay! I love that. I love that.
So I have been crafty all my life. I was doing fine art as a kid. I was taking classes and things like that. But around 15 or 16, where you try to decide what you're going to do in your future, school doesn't help with art, usually. Yeah. You have to find something different to do. And I loved computers and maths. I was very good at it. So I decided to go for computer science. And that's where I lost everything that had to do with creativity. I stopped drawing. I stopped everything. I went to the university, did maths, physics, all those stuff. And then after the years passed, and once I got married and I had kids, I was working as a computer science as a computer engineer in companies. And I then decided that I wanted to switch careers and I wanted to be a teacher when I had kids. Being a teacher, it gave me more free time during the summer and Christmas holidays to be crafty again. And having the kids, I decided to, cut paper again. So that's when it started. And that's when I realized that we had internet then. And I was able to go online and find scrapbooking because I didn't want to do oil painting anymore. I had one kid and I was pregnant to another, and all that oil and the smell was making me dizzy. So I was trying to find something only with paper, and I realized that there is scrapbooking, which isn't something very common in Greece. Scrapbooking or card making. And I found out about it online. So that's how I started. I made the blog and I started sharing all my my things. I was buying everything online because there were no shops selling things like that here. I had my blog so that I could find other people that share the same passion, and I could put out what I was doing. And that's how it started, basically. Then it became more popular, and again I switched from teacher to being a craft maker. Yeah, so that's the journey, pretty much.
Well, it's so glad that that's such an awareness to say, this job is killing my creativity. How can I pivot and bring back my creativity, which is important to me?
Yes.
That's amazing.
And sometimes I think that it is good to change careers at some point in our lives if we have a plan B and it works, of course, because we have the kids to feed. But I was doing this at the same time, both of them, both jobs at the same time, and I think that I never looked back, and I don't think that it is a waste of time having that degree in computer science and everything, because it was very easy for me to put everything out. I wasn't afraid. I need any help from others to put a blog or to make the video editing and things like that. These were things that I didn't have to think about.
Yep.
So it made this journey a little bit easier. Yeah.
And education is always good. It's always good to learn. I think
that's true.
yeah, it's always good. And I think too, as crafters, I think we're a bunch that likes to learn.
Yes.
I've heard the term lifelong learner from a lot of different crafters, because we're always on the web, like saying what's going on, what somebody else is doing, how they do this technique. I think that's just like a passion that we all kind of share as well, is we all want to learn more.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that when you're a crafter, you love any kind of crafts. I mean, if you like crafting, like paper crafting, you always take a look at what the people who are knitting are doing, or what the people, all who are sewing are doing. But it is a trap, because if you start doing another one, then you need a second room.
So what's besides paper crafts, and I'll let that be a huge category, because I know you do a lot of different paper crafts. Besides paper crafts, do you have another hobby in like the crafting realm?
For a couple of years, I did sewing. I had my sewing machine, and I was doing lots of stuff, clothes and everything. But I needed a second, as I said, I needed a second room for all the fabrics that I was hoarding. So at some point, I have so many things in here. At some point, I said, no, I have to put it all aside. And I have boxes. I placed everything in a box, and they are down in the basement. I'm trying to stay away from another hobby, because, since this is my job and hobby at the same time, I spend a lot of time in the craft room, and I craft a lot. I play a lot with all the mediums and everything. And then I need some time to, sit up, stand up, and do something outside of the house. Otherwise, if I have another hobby inside the house, I will never move. So I try
People just
put some exercise. Just go away. Take the bike and do, go for a walk.
You'll just be in your room. People will bring you things. Like it's hard though, because all the hobbies are so fun and so beautiful. And having this creative gene, you're like, I can do that. I can do that.
I want to try that. Yes.
Exactly. I could do this with that.
I have to stop myself. I have to stop myself not to try it, because if you try it, I tell you, it's a trap.
Yes.
Buy all the tools.
It's kind of good not having the shops that you can browse in.
Yes.
Because I don't have that either. I'm in the state of Maine in the United States, and we don't have like craft stores really. We have big box ones, but not like smaller ones. So yeah, I'm in the same situation where browsing isn't really a problem in person. It's online when you see somebody else do something. You're like, oh, and then you're quickly typing it in your phone. That's the scary piece.
True. That's true.
So this, I'm so excited to ask this question and hear this story. How did you find Altenew?
How did I find it? I think that I knew the girls way before they started Altenew. Altenew is like 10 years, about 9-10 years.
In April, it'll be 10 years in April.
Yeah, because we did the 9-year celebration. So I think we knew each other because we were crafting. We all had blogs before. I cannot tell or say when it happened. I feel like I knew them all the time. Because, when I was a blogger, way before, like 10 years ago, when we had CHA, I was visiting the US every year just for the fun of it, because it was so fun for me to meet other people, like-minded peers that love the same thing. And probably I met the girls there, I don't know, maybe online. So when Altenew came as a company, I think I knew them. We have met.
Did you do the Project Runway inspired? Did you do the blog with Jen and Tasneem? Did you do some of those challenges?
Probably, yes. I've been working with them very, very long time. From the beginning, yes. I remember when they had the flower stems without even the layers.
Yes.
I was through the whole journey with them because as they came up with new ideas and they introduced all those new ideas in the crafting world, I was there to be wow, to be excited about the new things.
Yeah. That is so exciting to watch it. I came in a little later, so I didn't get to see the whole thing, but that's really, really exciting. What's your favorite thing about working with Alt's new products?
Alt's new products, but the best thing, they always have such a great quality, and they are very sophisticated designs and very elegant designs. This is something that you don't find in every other company, because you know that sometimes they tell me, can I send you something from the new release? I don't even have to look at what's coming. I know everything is going to be so elegant and it's very close to my style, because my style is not very childish. I don't like faces or people or critters that much. I prefer flowers and more elegant designs. So that's the thing that I absolutely love about Althenu and their designs. Yeah.
And yes, I would say your style is very elegant. Your style is just absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. It's one of those you can't look away. Like it's so pretty. And thanks. I love the simplicity of the things you put together. And it just is like, I would see those things and I'd be like, I don't know if those are going to go together. Yeah. And you put it together so effortlessly, and it just is so stunning and so gorgeous and elegant. It's just amazing. I love watching you work. It's just amazing to watch you put together a project.
It seems very easy when you see it, or effortless when you see it on the editing. I have to say that though, yeah, because in the basket, in the bin, there are a few mistakes. But okay, it always looks so nice on after editing.
We see the beautiful
and everything comes together. Pop, pop, pop.
We see the beautiful 5 minutes. We don't see the 3 hours you put into those 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's very important to say that, though, for all the people that are struggling, because I'm struggling as well.
Yeah,
I'm struggling as well. The more you craft, the more ideas they come. And the more you craft, you find the techniques that match with your style, and you tend to use these techniques again and again. You become an expert on these techniques, let's say. And your mind works a certain way, but it is a struggle. Sometimes I just sit there and I play with the elements, nothing goes together, the colors are off. It happens to everyone.
So what do you do when you're stumped? Do you have like something that's a go-to to help you get out of being blocked creatively?
There are days that I say, okay, today is not the day. I just leave it and go with a friend and have a coffee. Sometimes it's impossible. But other times, I think there are periods that are more creative and others that you are not. However, when I have to do something and I cannot think of an idea, sometimes I go on Pinterest. It's a source of inspiration always. Usually I look for color combos. That's my go-to. I try to find a color combo. Let's say now it's September, I want to use a star. I'm thinking, okay, let's do something for fall or for Thanksgiving, and I don't know what to do. I will just scroll and try to find the color combination, and it all starts from there. Then maybe I will start thinking, okay, now what techniques do I have for the background? Maybe I want to do inking, maybe I want to do embossing, and I pick one. So that's my techniques. Sometimes even I go back to older videos like 2 years or 3 years ago, or even 10 years ago, and pick an idea that I did many years ago, and I try to make it relevant. So
that's a really good idea.
So that with the products that I currently have, with the techniques and how they have evolved throughout the years, and how my style has evolved, and sometimes at the end, I know which one of my cards I try to copy, but at the end, the two results at the end are not the same.
That's a really good idea, though, because it's always there. You can just kind of go back
and always go back
and pick. That's a good idea. That if you're stuck, look at something that you've created before. Because I know a lot of us take photos of our cards so that we can post them. So you have all this inspiration right in your little rectangle.
That's true.
So do you have a go-to technique? Do you have a technique that you're kind of really loving right now?
Maybe inking and blending with the brushes and the dye inks. I love the dye inks. Yeah, I like how they react with water, how you can use them to stamp, how you can use them to create backgrounds, how they you can do embossed resist, so many techniques. So usually I have my dye inks all around me and I try to use them somehow. That's my goal. I go to. Yeah.
And they're just there. It's like you said, they're so versatile. You can watercolor with them. You can ink blend. There's so many ways you can use. It's a really good investment in the inks because they're so versatile.
And then they can go any style. So you can be very clean and simple with them just by doing a simple blending with a couple of colors, or you can go crazy by smoothing them and get a completely mixed media look with splatters and everything. So I think that it's a great medium and a great start. Yeah.
Now, do you like the layered stencils or are you a single stencil kind of gal?
I like the layered stencils. Yes. Yeah. I like the layered stencils because they are so easy to play with. And I like that Altenew comes up with layered stencils that match with stamps, that match with foiling plates. This is amazing. I mean, it makes your job so easy. And at the same time, the result is always professional. It looks like it wasn't handmade.
Yeah.
Sometimes I always to make a mistake. So when the recipient gets the card, knows that it was handmade.
Usually we take care of that with an obsidian thumbprint somewhere on the project because it always happens. You get a little thumbprint or something on there.
Yeah, but you can always stick a little confetti on top or a pearl. These little things that we always do to cover up things.
We've gotten very good at hiding. I've started doing 2 or 3 sentiments, like strategically placed sometimes.
Strategically placed.
Yes. People are like, "Oh, I love that layout," and I'm like, "Oh, I just smudged ink. There was nothing really well thought out about it. It was just I was clumsy." What are some of your biggest influences in your projects?
Oh, you mean people?
Yeah,
people. So when I started, I stumbled upon Christina Werner. She was the one that I learned everything from her. Christina was amazing, is amazing, always has been. And that's where I found out about the card making world. And in the beginning, I was following her style. Then I switched to Jennifer Maguire, of course, everyone loves it. And because she was sharing so many techniques and I was able to learn the techniques and do them again and again. And then I think that I switched from one to another. Like, I like, for example, Laura Bassen because she's very clean and simple. I like Tanya Ahmed because she makes everything look so effortlessly messy.
Yes, I know!
Yeah, but over the years, I think that we all like to get inspired from other people, but at some point after using the techniques again and again, you find your own style and you tend to use what you really like. I think after being in the crafting community for over 15 years, that's what I do. Lately, I try not to look at what other people's videos. I only look at Instagram or only the photos because I get so influenced by them. And I don't want to copy them. I want to stay true to my style. So I just browse and see the beautiful designs. I like everything and so, but I try not to see the process. Because if I see Laura Bassen doing, for example, blending all the time in rainbow colors, then I will want to make rainbow colors all the time.
There's nothing wrong with that. We love a rainbow.
Of course.
I always say that's my favorite color. When people are like, what's your favorite color? Rainbow.
Yes,
of course.
Yes.
Now, this is going to be a really, really tough question. But what is your favorite project to make?
My favorite project?
Yeah. That's because you make a lot of different ones. So I
I do card making, but I do also art journaling and mixed media. I think art journaling is my big love, and I can explain why. With the card make, pretty much the words are connected because I use the same products, stamps and mediums and paints and stencils for both art journaling and both crafting, card making. However, in the card making world, when you make a card, you need to make it perfect. You need to think the recipient, to keep the recipient in mind. Like I try to make sure that they are going to like it because I know that they like green, for example, or I know that they like balloons. I don't know. And if I make a mistake, I don't want it to show because I have to make it good. I'm sending it out to someone. On the other hand, when I'm playing on my art journal, I feel more free. There is a big freedom there because you get to play with your mediums without having someone to judge you. No one is going to see the end result. Okay, I put it out there on the internet, but the truth is that it's for me. I just share what I'm making for me. And if I make a mistake, it doesn't matter. So I feel that freedom of creativity and having some me time with my products, my supplies. Because what I love actually is playing with the supplies. Play with my stamps, have fun with the inks, with the acrylic paints, with the brushes. So I think that between them, I love creating art journals more. Yeah.
And you actually design products that are aimed at art journaling.
I do design products with a company here in Europe that, and I have my own line of papers and stamps and stencils and everything. And with I do that with Samperia, and then I have with Spellbinders, I do my dies. However, just because I love playing with everything out there, I don't have exclusivity, which means that I get to play in my videos with whatever I like. Both my products, which of course I tend to use them because I design them, but I mix and match them with everything. I can use Altenio, I can use Tim Holtz if I want, whatever, because otherwise I would feel trapped. Yeah. I want to have the freedom of using whatever I like. So I make sure that even when I design for somebody, I can use whatever I want. That's a must. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is, because otherwise you feel, I felt that too, where you feel like you're in a box and your creativity is just not happening because you're so confined and limited.
Yes.
But knowing you can do anything, you know, you're like, oh, yeah, let's go.
You just bring your own designs into the crafting world and you play with them along with the others. I think that's the beauty of it. And I was able to do that, and I'm really thankful for the companies that allowed me to do it. Yeah.
And I have to say, in your videos, you can just feel the love as you're doing it. Like there's a connection in your videos that you can feel like your passion for it as you're doing it. I love looking at mixed media. I'm not as great at it because I don't like to get dirty. Like I can't, my hands can't get sticky or painty or anything. But so I love watching the videos, and it's just miraculous to watch you have a page come together. It's just it's amazing to watch the process.
I think that in my style of art journaling, it is kind of a mix of card making with mixed media in general, because they are not so abstract and random. They are on kind of have a theme every time. So I think I try to match both worlds together.
So what would you say to somebody that has not tried art journaling and is nervous about trying it? What would you say to somebody?
I would say that if they are already in the stamping world, if they do cards, they don't have to buy anything. Just open up a book, play with what you have. You can just create a background. You already have the techniques in your arsenal. Right. What I'm doing is just play on a bigger scale, like in 2 pages. So I think that if you are a card maker, you already have in your arsenal whatever you need, both in terms of techniques and in terms of supplies. So all you have to do is to just play with that.
What's an easy technique, do you think, to get started in art journaling? Is there an easier technique that you would recommend for somebody that was new to art journaling?
I think that the easiest way to do is, first of all, to create a background. And to make a background, you can use whatever you have. Just use 2 or 3 colors that are very close to each other in the rainbow order, like blue and green, or, just yellow and orange, something like that, so that you don't make a very busy background. Like you can bring in your acrylic paints, you can bring in your watercolors with those 2 colors, you can bring in your sprays with those 2 colors, whatever you like, whichever medium is going to cover up the page which is blank. And the most difficult part is to start from a blank page. If you use 2 or 3 colors that are next to each other in the rainbow order, it's not going to make a mess. You're going to have something that is pleasing to the eye, and then at the top, you can try and find a flower composition, for example, if you are a beginner, and try to color the flowers. Stamp the flowers separately, not directly on top of the page, separately. So if you don't like them, throw them away, you make another. Then you can color them in a contrasting color than your background, so that when you place it on top, it's going to stand out. And then you can stick the flower on top, add a quote. You can do some splatters to make it look more, as if you know what you're doing. You can use a little bit of stenciling here and there, and you have a page. Really easy with what you already have and the techniques that you already know.
And I think that's great that you said, like, that page can be daunting. It can be, a card front can be daunting sometimes, because there's so much white space. You're like, what do I do with it? And I love that, starting with the background. Just throw some color on there and see where you go.
Yes.
You know? And I don't live in fear of brown. I embrace brown. If I accidentally make brown, I'm fine. Mind. Are you okay with brown too?
Yes, I love vintage projects as well. So I'm okay with brown, yes. If you end up with brown, put a cup of coffee and say something about coffee. Beautiful. Add some splatters, you're done.
There's always a reason for coffee, right?
Yes,
I mean, there just always is. So what's a fun fact that we may not know about you? Can you ride a unicycle, or can you juggle? Or I don't know why I'm going circus themed. Those were the 2 examples I could think of.
I'll tell you a fun fact about me in the crafting world. You know what I absolutely hate doing? I don't like coloring inside the lines. I hate using my alcohol markers. That blending thing can drive me crazy. Trying to match the colors, trying to color inside the lines. Then something goes outside and bleeds out. I don't like the blending. I don't like how much time it takes me to do that. Before, like 10 years ago, I was doing it. Now, zero patience. I cannot, for the life of me, use my alcohol markers anymore.
You can always use the alcohol inks. You can use the inks.
I can use the inks, yes. I can use the inks, I can use the blending tools. That's why I love so much the layer stamps, because you don't do the blending and all the hard work on yourself. I just, no.
Oh, no, I mean that. You could also do the artist marker refills, the alcohol ink.
Yes,
you could
I know.
Do that. You could use some beautiful backgrounds there too. So you're kind of using them.
Yes. If I have to, I do it. But I never go like 3 or 4 colors to do the blending in one area. I just use two colors and get done with it, because I don't have the patience anymore. Maybe because I moved into that mixed media world, and now I find that it is very time consuming. However, I don't mind fuzzy cutting. You can call me crazy. I don't know why.
I call it cranky cutting because it makes me cranky.
I don't know why. I don't like the one, but I like the other. Who knows?
So you don't want to color inside the lines, but you're happy to cut them.
Yes. Exactly where the black line is. I know.
But it kind of makes sense that you don't want to color inside the line, because you mix media, you're free. You're like, I think of that as like a free technique. Like you just go where your inspiration takes you. In the
next video, when you see me coloring with markers inside the black lines, you know that I have to do it. I couldn't think anything else.
Everybody will know that you're going while you're coloring.
I couldn't think anything else, and I had to go with markers.
I do love, though, Altenews because they come together. Like, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to pick. I just grab and I go and I know it's going to work. And I love that.
It's a set, yes. But then again, you have to take your time and blend. And there are so many colorists out there who make beautiful blendings. And you look at them and you go like, okay, let's do something different. I cannot do that at that level.
So this brings me to a thought now. Do you like to do the dyes that have a lot of pieces, or are you a no-go on that too?
No, I do like it.
You do like those?
I prefer playing with colored cardstock and pattern papers that I cut out instead of coloring. So there is another process there. So I don't mind. You stick all the pieces. Back in the day, I did a lot of paper piecing with all those dyes using my pattern papers. It was for a period of time, it was very popular to use our dyes with pattern papers. And you got all those different patterns, one on top of the other and stuff. Right. These days, mainly, we do either white that we color and blend with our inks, or we use colored cardstock, plain colored cardstock. But now you reminded me, I need to take a note for tomorrow.
That's okay. So are colored pencils in the same boat as the artist markers? Are you like, no, too time consuming?
I would love to use the watercolor pencils that they blend beautifully, and you tend to get all those shadows just with one.
Yeah.
Because you get all the hues from super dark green all the way to the super light just by blending with the water. And this is, again, kind of a mixed media medium, because you can use it differently there. So it's one that I love. And I think it is easier and faster to color a flower with the watercolor pencils.
I think so too. Watercolor is one of those things I think that you can either be super precise and involved, or you can just slap some color down and move on. And it still looks beautiful. Watercolor is very forgiving, I think.
Yes, especially if you leave intentionally white areas where you didn't touch it at all. It at the end of the result is always magical. I don't know how it comes together so easily. Yeah.
Now, do you have any of your artwork that you've kept for you? Have you framed a piece that you've done? Or I know you have your art journals.
Some of them I do.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I have another wall there, but should I? No, it's difficult.
No, you won't make it.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Oh, wow.
You can see the mess here also. The real craft.
That's creativity. Yes. That is creativity waiting to happen. We don't use the M word.
For some of my 3-dimensional projects, I do frame them and I put them up on the wall, and I also hand them out to friends and family.
Oh, that's nice.
Then for the cards, I used to have a few cards where I had a big frame where you could put 3 in 3 cards.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that I absolutely love. But usually what I do with the cards is make a set like 10 or 15 cards all together, and I hand them out to friends and family so they can use them, because I make so many cards and it is almost impossible to use them all. And also once or twice a year I make a big box and I hand them out to charities, because they hand them out in hospitals and stuff. They have something going on here, so it is a good way to get rid of all my cards for a good cause. Yeah.
We have that too with Altenew in the spring. We have where they give them to, moms around Mother's and Father's Day. They'll hand them out in nursing homes and such. So it is a great way for all those beautiful projects that you just have no home for them, really.
That's wonderful. It's a hobby, and we create way more than we need. We play. We make them just for a play, and we have tons. So it's good to find a way to, use them for a good cause.
Now, you said you make groups of them. So do you mass produce cards a lot, or are they all individual in some way?
I make many videos of mine are 1 kit 10 cards, or I make many cards out of one stamp set and things like that, so they match together. Other times I make videos where I use one paper pad and I make 10 cards, So all of them are kind of the same style and theme. So all of them go together for a set. Yeah.
That's a great thing to be able to say. Here, mom, dad, here, here's some cards to give out. So, yeah.
A good idea with this type of cards is if you don't stick the sentiment and give the sentiments separately so they can use them on their own. However, since I do the video editing, I tend to stick them. But sometimes I give extras so they can stick on top.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. If you have the sentiment on a banner and then you make more banners, extra banners, they can write whatever they like and stick it on top. And you switch. If you have cards with flowers, for example, they fit any occasion. So if I have made a thank you card, they can just stick happy birthday or something on top of it.
I love that idea. Yeah. That's a great idea, giving the extra banners. I never thought of that.
Of course, that's for me because I make the videos for YouTube and I need to keep a finished look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's getting popular with a lot of crafters where they're not putting a sentiment on. Yes. I try to stick with like thinking of you or hello, because usually on the inside you can go any direction there. It's pretty versatile.
Always very generic, yeah. And I tend to give many thank you cards. Thank you cards because sometimes I have live workshops and I hand out thank you cards for all the participants. So it's one of you might see and notice that I make many thank you cards on my videos. That's because I put them in a separate box with all the thank you cards for all those events. Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite cards to make is a thank you card. It just, I need to channel my inner Vicki and give my cards out more. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of cards. Because as you know, we make a few on a daily basis. So I need to start sending them, and that's, it's because at this point it's for me because I've created it, and so now I need that next step of giving it to others.
I struggle with sending cards as well. It is easier for me to make a set and give it to my best friend or make a set and give it to my mom than send one out every once in a while. I don't do that. I know I may say to you, oh, Bridget, I'm going to send you a card. I will forget. I will not go to the post office. I don't know what will happen. But I'm not good at sending cards like that. But if I see you, I can give you, take 100 cards and you have them forever.
Yes, the next time you come to the US, I'll have to come see you so I can get a Vicki card. So, yes.
Definitely.
Okay, so now we have a game. We have a fun game.
Oh, wow.
Okay, random words. Okay, so we are going to bring up our first random word. And the first random word that we have is satisfied. And you have to connect it to crafting.
Hi. My God, a background.
That's a good one.
Yes, a background. I feel very satisfied when I have a beautiful background, no matter what the focal point is going to be. I just love that for some reason. I don't know. That popped in my mind.
Okay, that's a good one. Your next one is limit.
Limit. Well, I have to go with card making because it limits my creativity, and I explained that previously. Yes,
I thought that was a good word that came up because we talked about limits a lot today. So.
Because it puts you in a box, you have to work on this size and you have to use the colors of the recipient and not that it's not satisfying also, but it doesn't give you that freedom like mixed media. Yeah.
What's the biggest project you've ever made?
An advent calendar, a big advent calendar, as well as big boxes where you put elements inside, 3-dimensional elements for Christmas. Yes, these are the biggest ones.
Oh, wow. Very cool. I had to sneak another question in there.
Go.
Okay, and your final word. And this one we talked about today too. You got really good words today. The final word is gift.
Gift. A card. What else? What else? Always a card with whatever I give, whatever I hand out. There is always a card or a tag, something to go along. Of course, everyone is expecting my card now. All friends and family, they go look for the card first and not for the present. The same thing goes for the gifts of Christmas. Because I always make
That's
tags,
wonderful.
yeah, to put under the tree, and all the tags are so matching together. Yeah, I love handing out gifts, and I love putting my cards on them. Yeah.
Now, so you make tags as well? Do you coordinate your card and tag?
No. For Christmas under the tree, I always make a tag. But
wow.
A little big one, so I can play a lot. It's not like those tiny ones, only with the name Bridget.
And you can bring in the mixed media to the tags too, which is great because no limits.
No limits.
No limits, and it's a gift. We got 2 of your words there.
You can go super dimensional because we're going to hand it out. It's not going to go through the mail, so you can go as many layers as you like. Again, another limit in card making.
Are you a dimension gal as well?
I always have to use foam tape. Always.
Oh yeah.
I cannot make a flat card. Never. No.
I'll pay extra. I'll pay the extra postage, but it has to have some dimension. Like we need the foam tape. That's
okay. Otherwise, it's like printed for me. No.
When I make a 1-layer card, it's like it's missing something. I try to make them, but
the same for me. Exactly the same for me.
Do not take away our foam tape.
Yeah. Tons of foam tape throughout the year.
Well, thank you so much, Vicki, for joining us today. It was so wonderful to get to know the face behind the hands.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun. So much fun.
Yes, and I'll be waiting for the next couple of years by my mailbox for my card.
Yes, of course.
We should have a competition and see which one of us could send a card first. I think I'm as bad as you are at sending them out. We'll have a competition to see who can mail a card first.
Come to the US for 2024. Do we have anything like Creativation there or something?
Yes, we do. It's in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And I think it's in March. I think. Yeah.
If
you're here.
Oh, yes, I will bring you 10. A set.
Oh, no. I'll have to start making them now. Well, thank you so much, Vicki, for joining us and our listeners. Thank you so much for
thank you to Auntie New for the invitation and the opportunity. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. We were so excited to have you on and to get to know a bit more behind the amazing artist of all the gorgeous, gorgeous projects that we see come out. It's always good to know more about the person behind the beautiful projects there. So it was wonderful getting to know you, and thanks for taking the time. And so we will see you all in our next podcast. Who will the guest be? Don't know. Until then, remember, craft your life. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and everywhere you can find podcasts to keep up with every new episode. Shoot us an email at support@altnew.com with your feedback. And don't forget to craft your life.
Hello crafters, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching.